What up, motherfuckers?
I found you.
Still gotta.
What's going on?
Not much, man. Not much. How we doing?
Doing just got done watching Re-Animator on Discord.
Yep. Same here. Same here. I was there. But
It was fun.
we got Rockin' Robbie tonight, man. Been like months. Been like months.
It's been eons, decades, even, man, decades.
Probably.
Wasn't that long?
No, happy to be here, man. I wasn't able to make Death Machine, but I did watch that. That was a weird movie. I would have given that one like a 2. You dig?
Like my girl's family was staying with us from Hawaii, so it was like they just constantly were like wanting us to do stuff. So it was like almost impossible for me to watch it, and I think me and Scarpad ended up having to do it like a Tuesday night or something, because even he ended up not being able to watch it because he had something going on.
Well, Dylan I don't think Dylan remembered you were going to come on tonight, but he said, hey, I saw Robbie put the box up on his site. Said he's watching it. I'm assuming he's coming on because otherwise, why would he watch it or post it? So I'm glad he was able to snag you.
Yeah, he might have sent it to me. I honestly
sent you a message and I was like, "Yo, Dylan, where's the link? What's up? Did you forget about me, man?"
No, I was looking out. I kept checking my Instagram too earlier to see like because usually you'll say like, "Hey, I can't make it tonight," because my brother said that, or somebody said that you were going to be with Bueller. So
yeah, Bueller left this morning, so I was able to cram it all in. I just skipped going to go see the Joker movie because I heard it wasn't good. So.
I was going to go see it this morning, and I skipped it too. And honestly, I think because
I'm going to go Wednesday night. But I got Bueller. Bueller came into town and completely threw off my schedule, man.
A AAA copy is leaked, so if you want to see it in full Blu-ray resolution, it's not a problem. So.
Yeah, you like musicals though, so you might like it. I am not really a musical fan. I only like Wizard of Oz and Grease, to be honest.
I wouldn't damn it for being a musical. I would damn it for maybe just like a poor script. I think was the issue.
I would damn it for being a musical. It shouldn't fucking be a musical, honestly.
I would prefer it not to be a musical, but
I think it could have been something decent if it wasn't a musical, but it's a musical, so, and like the music's really not that good. Even though Joaquin Phoenix, he actually sang pretty well in it. I think sometimes he sounded better than Lady Gaga, to be honest. But I feel like they probably added something to his voice, where Lady Gaga was more just raw, I don't know, you know what I mean? Just because obviously she's a real singer. But I still think it's, I hear a lot of people say it ruins the first one. I wasn't as big on the first one as a lot of other people. Like, I think it's good, but I don't think it's the greatest fucking thing ever because it's not the Joker. It's really just Todd Phillips' excuse to make like a Martin Scorsese type movie, and I've heard that like they think those movies don't really make money, because Todd Phillips isn't Martin Scorsese. I feel like even Martin Scorsese movies don't really make a shit ton of money. Like even the last movie went straight to Netflix, but nothing about that shit is the Joker, man. It's like literally. I was telling Evan, I was like, it's literally Taxi Driver, but instead of him being a taxi driver, he's a clown. He just wanted to be a clown.
Yeah, that first one's definitely Taxi Driver and King of Comedy.
King of Comedy, yeah.
Oh, for sure. But I was like, you could have just called that movie Clown, to be honest. Like it's literally a Taxi Driver, King of Comedy ripoff.
Yeah, I mean, you could take all the Bruce Wayne Batman things they did in that movie and just take them right out of it, and it would be just good.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you take all that out, and
you didn't need all that Thomas Wayne, Court of Owls, all the other
Taxi
bullshit.
Driver, King of Comedy movie, except he's not a taxi driver; he's a wannabe clown. But there are definitely good things in it, from what I heard, is Todd Phillips was kind of upset that the studio asked him to do a sequel, and he was upset that fans like idolized Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, so he is like kind of in this one almost wanting you to hate him, and kind of I don't know, like from what I saw in reviews, I
think he wanted him to hate him in the first one too.
That's what I'm saying, but people ended up loving it. He wanted them to hate him in the first one.
Well, not really hate him, feel sorry for him. It's about mental illness, really. The first movie.
Maybe feel sorry for him, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't even know about that. But because did we feel sorry for De Niro in Taxi Driver? Really? I don't know.
No,
not really.
Well, Robbie gets to go see it on Wednesday. Have to tell us how he liked it.
Yeah. Well, I watched it before Bride of Re-Animator, and I didn't really like it.
Did it make Bride of Re-Animator better?
Yeah, we talked about that, and I think we'll talk about that tonight. How my remembrance of it is stronger than the actual movie when we saw it this time.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think the last time I watched Bride of Re-Animator was when I bought this Arrow Blu-ray, so I'd say it's been a good 5-7 years. I always remember
it is better than the third one, so there's that.
Yes, for sure.
100%.
I still do enjoy the third one, but I don't. It's obviously not the first one or the second one. Let me see. Before we get into it, though, let me see if there's any horror news. Terrifier 3's next week, though. Me and Scarphead hyped about that. I know Robbie don't give a shit. He's not too big on that. The guy who did Barbarian, though, just released a teaser trailer for his new movie called Companion. It's about a twisted love story. It has what's his name? He was in Scream 5, and he's in The Boys.
Oh, you're talking about Dennis Quaid's son, Randy Quaid? No, not Randy. Something.
Yeah,
Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid's in it, and I don't know who the girl is, but it looks pretty good. It actually looked pretty good.
Is it
on the background?
Is it Blumhouse?
No, it's not Blumhouse. It's New Line Cinema.
It's new. Might be me. I don't know. Maybe Bleem too.
Who's watching Jeopardy?
It's New Line Cinema.
No one's watching Jeopardy.
It looks good. They only released a minute and a half teaser, but I'd say it looks good. And you know how much I loved Barbarian, so I think this is the first movie the guy is doing since Barbarian, so should be fun. Yeah. But yeah, there's not really much. I guess Scream 7 releasing in theaters February 2026. That I'm not too hype on because it seems like it's going to be a shit show. Looks like I think they leaked like a clip of Robert Englund from maybe the 90s, In Search of Darkness, and it was just basically them asking if he had like another Robert Englund or another Freddy performance in him, and he basically said nope, not happening. He said he would love for them to do like a remake of Dream Warriors and him be able to like play like the Doctor or something and just kind of have like a cameo in it. But he's like, I do not have another Freddy.
Yeah, he's
like,
pretty old.
Yeah, I mean he's pretty old, but he is a fucking legend. So, and Quiet Place Day One on Paramount Plus, they did release an official trailer for Robert Eggers' Nosferatu, which me and Scarpad and Evan actually watched that like last week. I think that shit looks beautiful, man. Have you seen any of that, Robbie? The trailers are for that?
Yeah, I'm super pumped, man. That's like probably the movie I'm most looking forward to.
Me too. Me too. Yeah. Kind of bummed that it's coming
I still think it should have came out on Halloween, but not Christmas. But
yeah.
Well, Nosferatu's a Christmas movie now, so
yeah.
Why not, right? If Terrifier can be a Christmas movie in October, then Nosferatu can be an October movie and Christmas, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, well, speaking of Nosferatu, the Salem's Lot remake came out on HBO Max. I don't know if either of you got to see that. I did watch it day one. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It definitely, when I watched it, because I think it's 2 hours or maybe a little less, I was like, this should be longer. Because you can just see, like, I read the book. I know Robbie's read the book. Obviously, I know how when we reviewed it, we were like, oh, this is so long. But when I watched that, I was like, I'm missing. So, like, there's so much out of the book that it's missing. And it just felt like it was like stuff got cut out. And I was like, they're just skipping this and that and that. And I was like, damn, man, you're missing so much of the good stuff. I don't know if it's really a spoiler, but the one thing I was happy with is at least they kind of kept the head vampire Barlock kind of like original to like what he looked like in the movie. So that's what I thought. They were going to just make him like some regular schmegular vampire, you know, but there's some good stuff in it. I think it's worth a watch for sure. But it just really had no good characters in it, I feel like. And then like the one or two like good actors that were in it, like they just didn't really have much in it. But I definitely think it's worth a shot. I think though, like especially since it came to HBO Max, they should have made that like a 3-hour movie and like kind of like did a real remake on it and not just some half-assed remake. Especially if it was gonna go straight to HBO Max, they could have made it like almost like a HBO Max TV movie series, like a part 1 and a part 2, even kind of like really doing like remaking like the original TV movie. I thought that would have been cool, but hey man, what do I know? I've only been watching horror movies for 30 fucking years.
Yeah, we've only watched them try to make this thing 3 times.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. So that's why it's like, man, how we should be fucking making movies, man. We would make so much better movies.
Let's make the 10-hour definitive version of Salem's Lot.
You ever see Chapel Wait? It was kind of like a prequel to Salem's Lot, and it's like it's based off of a Stephen King short story, like that is a prequel of Nosferatu or Salem's Lot's Nosferatu. That's really good, and it has Adrian Brody in it, and it's like it goes back to like the early 1900s, the Salem's Lot or whatever, and kind of like the origin of all that stuff. I feel like, but that was a really good show. It was on like Epics or something. It was on some random ass. So I feel like a lot of people didn't hear about it, but it was really good show. I think you can pick it up on DVD pretty cheap. Never got a Blu-ray, but it's definitely worth checking out. Adrian Brody was really good in it. But yeah, and then Chucky season 3 got canceled, which I think I mentioned that last week. Which I'm super bummed about. And,
there will be no season 4.
Yeah, sadly. Well, Chucky will be back as always.
Right.
Apartment 7A, aka Rosemary's Baby's prequel. I still will not watch that. I know.
It might be good.
I know it's a piece of dog shit, bro. I did watch that movie Beazle though. That Scarpath's been wanting me to watch.
Yeah, Beazle was pretty good.
Beazle was pretty good, man. And it was funny because on Instagram today I saw like a story about this guy talking about it. He's like, "This is gonna be like the most slept on horror movie of October. It's been going around the film festivals and all that." And yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I think it's this year's Dark Harvest.
Yeah, and VHS Beyond, I think it was the new VHS movie came out the other day. I started it and I thought the first story I saw was pretty good. This one has like not as big of directors in it though. I feel like this has a lot more newbie directors than the last few, where the last few would have like a lot bigger names. Justin Long, I think though, direct. I think he's like the biggest name directing one of these episodes. So that's interesting. But
he finally wanted to be in a horror film that he didn't fucking die in. Some shit.
Yeah, right. There is one short story about like a giant killer mutated stork. Like, you know, like the birds.
I've heard about that. I heard that was a pretty wild.
I'll definitely watch it now.
It was pretty cool, man.
Just ripping babies out of women or something.
Yeah. It was pretty cool.
Now I'm watching it.
Dude, I told you it was good, man. I only watched like 2 of the episodes, but I think there's 4, I want to say. But yeah, definitely worth a watch. And I did watch The Front Room, which Evan found out that it's directed by Robert Eggers' 2 younger brothers.
Shut the Front Room.
Yeah. Did not
Was it
like
good? I wanted to check that one out.
Did not like it at all.
Okay.
It's like not even really like a horror movie, man. Like it felt like just like about a fucking a wife and their husband taking care of his like his old dying stepmom who's like crazy and like racist, and they made it seem like there was gonna be some like devil worshipping thing in it, and there really wasn't. Like, I don't know, man. It just, there was something missing from it. I don't know, but I was not a fan of it. I wouldn't steer. You might like it. It is A24. It's still, I guess, maybe it's probably still at least worth a watch, but I did not like it. It was kind of disappointing, like Cuckoo was, which I don't know if you've seen Cuckoo either.
Cuckoo was batshit crazy.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't like it, but I kind of appreciated it, even though it was batshit crazy.
Yeah. Could have been good because it gave like the cabin and hotel or whatever. It was giving me like Shining vibes, but it just went off the rails.
Yeah, really, it went off the rails pretty big, but
and just didn't like explain fucking anything. But yeah, so I think that's all I got. Yeah. I don't think there's really anything else. But definitely just recommend going to see fucking Terrifier this week. And if you didn't know too, Robbie, I did mention this last week, but Ryan Coogler dropped a trailer for like a vampire like an original vampire movie, like based in like the early 1900s, I want to say, and Michael B. Jordan starring in it.
Oh, neat.
Called Sinners. It looks actually pretty good. So, yeah. So let's get into Friday Re-Animator, my boy. Obviously, man, you know, yeah, Scarpath's TV is bleeding through, my man. Obviously, me and Robbie have done Stuart Gordon, videos, or what was that?
You talking about the director's spotlight that we did back in the day?
Thank you. Yeah.
Like what, first month of DHS, right? Something like that.
Yep. Yeah, when we were doing it, we did a couple of those spotlights, and Stuart Gordon was definitely one of them that we started with. And yeah, you know, we're big fans of Stuart Gordon over here, man. One of my favorite directors. I love Dagon. I love Re-Animator. What was that one? Now I can't think of the name about the girl who hits him and
Stuck. Stuck's awesome, dude.
So
Stuck
good.
is great.
So good.
That's his final film, man.
Yeah, that's one I'm dying to pick up on Blu-ray, man. That's a hard one to get.
Yeah, Stuck is great. From Beyond is amazing. Even like Fortress has Pit and Pendulum have things about it I appreciate, you know. And Suitable Flesh, basically kind of like the movie he was going to do before he passed. And it really carries on his tradition.
Robot Jocks I finally recently got on Blu-ray, and
I finally got that too because of that box set Arrow did.
Oh, nice, you got it. Yeah. I got it.
You got the two of them here.
But yeah, there's some good stuff that he's done, man. I'd say, man, he is one of the most unique directors. I'd say, man, like, you know, because like obviously Tobe Hooper, he's fantastic, but he's even got some misses, you know, like all of our favorite directors, almost all of them have some misses in there. I feel like Stuart Gordon, man, he just has so many great films. He definitely probably has a couple misses in there.
I mean, I would say Pit and the Pendulum and Fortress are a little bit missy.
Yeah.
And what was the one? What is it? It's something like Of the Ants. What is it?
Oh,
Empire of the Ants.
Isn't it King of the Ants?
King of the Ants. King of the Ants is all right. I'm a big fan of Space Truckers myself. So.
Yeah, Space Truckers, I like that one too. And I love like The Dentist, even though he didn't direct those, he wrote the screenplays for those. I love The Dentist.
Yeah, speaking of, probably his biggest hit was a screenplay he worked on, which was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yep. Crazy to think that the guy who did Re-Animator, From Beyond, Castle Freak, and Dagon did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
One of the biggest
I can see it.
Disney movie. Yeah. He actually did a screenplay for the 1993 Body Snatchers, too. And obviously we know him from working on Masters of Horror, Fear Itself, Dolls. Dolls is another one that I absolutely always loved. Oh, he did some TV movie called Daughter of Darkness. That's one I've never seen. I'm sure that's... Oh, no. Anthony Perkins is in that.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah, and Mia Sara.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a TV movie from back in 1990. It only has, where's the rating? 5.1. It's probably nothing crazy, but I'll have to try to find that. But yeah, man, I mean, Stuart Gordon is just so damn good. Even though, you know, I almost forgot that he technically didn't even direct this one. Obviously, I think did he have any hand in this?
No, like him and Dennis Paoli and Brian Usna were working on a script, but the studio who had the financing for this movie needed it done in a certain time. Stuart and Dennis were busy. And so Brian went on kind of like his own to do it.
Yeah, which we also know he directed the third one as well.
Yeah, and this was right after he did Society. It was part of a 2-picture deal he did with, I can't remember the company, but it was Society and Bride of Re-Animator. And he had to get it done before the financing was. There was something, you know how it is, you know, in Hollywood. They're like, we got the money, but you better make it now because otherwise we may not have the money because we may not be in business, especially back in these days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and he was supposed to make a 4th Re-Animator too, but I think... Speaking
of Society, just a little aside, I saw a little bit of that movie, The Substance, and man, that gives Society a run for its money. So if you get a chance, check that out when it comes out.
Yeah, I want to check that one out. I've been hearing.
I think it's a Cronenberg film, right?
Is it Cronenberg?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
I don't think it's Cronenberg because I think it's a woman director.
It's very Cronenberg-esque. If it's not.
Caroline Fargeet.
Okay.
Is the director there.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, I'm hearing good things about that one, so I need to check it out. I haven't been to the theater in a few weeks. I think the last time I went to the theater was Beetlejuice, and I guess I was so fucking disappointed I didn't want to go back. So
yeah, that movie was a disappointment.
But now I'm falling behind, man.
These guys waited 20, 35 years for the perfect script to come up with that. Come on.
I know, man.
Give me a break.
Dude, Beetlejuice makes Bride of Re-Animator look like Citizen Kane, man.
Too many hands in the script writing room in that movie. about
way
4
too
different.
overloaded, man.
Yeah,
You know,
and
there
then-
are some similarities between that movie and this movie,
Yeah.
but this movie still has some more redeeming qualities in my
No
opinion.
MacArthur Park long soliloquy at the end. I hated that. That was terrible. But yeah, this movie I remembered liking more than I did this time. Although I do appreciate a lot of this movie because the effects are great, and I think as a horror homage to like Bride of Frankenstein and those type of movies, it's good. But as a sequel to Re-Animator, which I think is really a upper level 80s horror movie, it doesn't do that well. And it does what a lot of these movies did for sequels in the day. It looks kind of like a money grab because obviously your main character was killed in the first one, and the main villain had his head squashed and thrown against the wall, so he was pretty much done. They want you to forget that part of it, but they did pull in a lot of the stuff from the first one, but said just don't remember that part. And that sets you out on the wrong foot to begin with. But I thought it was all right. I mean, it had some interesting parts, but it seemed kind of long for an hour and 35 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's nowhere near as iconic as the first movie.
Man, I always remembered absolutely loving this, and I don't know what, maybe I just wasn't in like the zone for it today, but I did not nearly like it as much as I remembered. It's definitely still good, but it's better than the third. I mean, it has great practical effects from like Screaming Mad George and all that, but the story is just weak. Not nearly as good as the first one.
All over the
Bruce
place.
Abbott's not really as that good in this one.
Bruce
Even
Abbott
His
looks
hair,
like
though.
Yeah.
His hair is a
His
whole
hair.
character in this fucking movie.
Yeah,
man.
Bruce
For real.
Abbott didn't seem like he even wanted to be in the movie, to tell you the truth.
Almost, even Jeffrey Colmes was kind of like just not hitting the mark like he did in the first one. I mean, he
Right.
still is good, but like both of them just kind
Well,
of
and
felt
that's
like they were
that's
there for
that's
the
what a
paycheck.
director does, right? Gets you to hit the mark.
Yeah. Well, and I wouldn't say Brian Usna is really a great director, to be honest. He just directs batshit crazy movies usually, and I think this was his first directorial debut, I want to say.
This was right after Society, though.
This was okay, so he did do Society first. Okay. Yeah. Well, Society I think is better.
Yes,
I agree. I also think Return of the Living Dead Part 3 is probably his best film, personally.
I would say that as well. Return of the Living Dead 3.
Yeah, that's an underrated movie. It's really not appreciated as much as it should be.
Yeah, definitely. You remember like your first time seeing this Scarphead? Like, I know you probably didn't see it.
Well, this was direct to video. It didn't
I
come
was
out
gonna
in
say this was
theaters.
probably straight to VHS.
And I saw it when it would have been came
Could
out
have
on
went to
VHS.
drive-in possibly.
No, it went direct to video, I'm pretty sure. And I saw it then. I liked it. I mean, I thought it was a reasonable sequel. Of course, things were different back then, but I mean, it was okay. It just wasn't the first movie,
Right.
you know. And what was the beginning? It was like Re-Animator goes to MASH. I mean, what was that all about?
And it's like they're like
During the war.
in the war or some shit.
And
like
that bit has no reason, really, except for, I guess, just to set up this chick that Dan
Right.
knows or whatever, right? So, like,
so.
so weird.
Yeah.
She was kind of a low rent. Who's that girl that's in Desperado? What's her name again?
Salma Hayek?
Yeah, she's like a low rent Selma Hayek. This girl was in this one. I don't know. She was okay.
What did you think of it overall, Robbie? Because I know you have not really always been too much of a fan of this one.
Well, I mean, I've always been on the record, right, saying that I don't really like the Re-Animator sequels, right? Now, so I first watched Re-Animator like in high school. We rented it somewhere because we had heard, you know, that this movie was crazy and it was a cool looking cover on the VHS, and we rented it, we watched it, and we loved it. Ever since then, like, I think Re-Animator is like one of the greatest films. Period. Like, I think Re-Animator, I mean, it's a perfect movie for me. Like, Re-Animator pushes boundaries, doesn't go too far. It's fun, it's tightly paced, and it's got a lot of humor and a lot of like morbid, dark stuff in it too. This movie tries to do that, but this movie's missing Stuart Gordon, right? So I first watched this movie at the rise of Netflix, when Netflix was like the DVD mail-in service, right? And then all of a sudden I had access to all these movies I couldn't find at my video stores and shit, right? So that's when I was watching my Fulcis and my Argentos and watching these movies, right? And I do own it. I own all 3 movies on Blu-ray because I love Re-Animator so much that I want the sequels. I used to be that guy.
Oh, yeah.
If I liked a band, I would buy all of their CDs. I would buy all their albums. I would want the whole complete thing. And when I really like a filmmaker or I really like a film franchise, I'll buy them all. It's why I own Paranormal Activity Part 6, because that's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And Bride of Re-Animator is better than that. But it's missing a certain charm that I think Dennis Paoli and Stuart Gordon made. Like, it was Stuart, Dennis, and Brian and the cast that made Re-Animator so exceptionally great, right? There are things I like about the movie. I do love Bruce Abbott coming back. I love Jeffy Colmes. Like, who doesn't, right? Like,
Right.
I think he's got one of his strongest bits in this movie is when he's like doing that spiel about how like you're God, the God who's like ashamed of his like backwards creation made in his own image or something like that. That was a really great part. Like Scarpad says, there's a lot of direct nods to Bride of Frankenstein. Re-Animator always felt to me like
Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, like Re-Animator is a Frankenstein type story, but it also is like a zombie story, and it's kind of like its own thing. This one really dives into the comparison with Bride of Frankenstein. So I like that. I think the practical effects are the best part of the movie. Brian Usna brought in a lot of people. K&B did some stuff. Screaming Mad George did some stuff. He brought in a bunch of different people to do a bunch of different bits so that nobody was overtaxed and overworked, and all of the effects look amazing. Like, it looks great.
Yeah.
It's cool to see Dr. Hill back. The guy, what's his name? David Gale, aka John Kerry's brother, right?
He's great. He might be like my favorite.
I didn't like the detective as much in this. I thought he was kind of a replacement for the dean, and he wasn't a good one.
That is, right? Because this movie is doing what this is like. Okay, here are all the beats of Re-Animator. Let's hit all of those beats, right? So they got the police investigator, they got the girl involved, they got so many different things, but they're overstuffing it, right? Brian Usna in the special feature says we weren't even going to have Dr. Hill in the movie until David Gale called me and said, "Hey, I heard you're making a sequel. What am I doing?"
Right.
So they kind of, and you can feel it, right? Because like he's not a main thread in that movie. Like the whole idea of Dan trying to revitalize Meg is not. It's kind of the thread, but it's not really the thread. And like
they never do anything with it.
There's just so much going on, and it doesn't work. It feels overstuffed. It's a bit long. Now, of course, the Blu-ray we have, Dylan, is the uncut version, right? Yeah. Which I think adds just a little bit, but like it's a little bit long. It drags. It commits a crime that movies should never like. A movie can be bad. Don't be boring. Now, I don't think this movie is a boring movie, but it's got boring parts in it, right? Yeah. Luckily, it's got those special effects. It's got some decent parts in the performances that really help pull it up, right? But, man.
There's a sequence in the original that's still my favorite movie. My part of the movie is when Jeffy Colmes catches Dr. Hill going down, his decapitated head going down on Barbara Crampton. He goes, all that knowledge in the world, and here you are, something like twisting with a bubble-headed blonde bimbo. And there's nothing to that. There's nothing of that quality line in this movie. I think it was written so much better because it had like tongue-in-cheek but serious at the same time. And they try it here, but it just kind of falls flat a little bit, I think.
Yeah, you're missing Stuart and Dennis, right? But they're able to like bring that comedy. They're able to bring that macabre nature and make it and strike that balance. This one doesn't have a good balance. It doesn't lean heavy into comedy. Maybe it needs to lean heavier into it, but at the same time, like I don't know. Like it's just I think that there's a charm missing in this one.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that charm was the collaboration between Stuart, Brian, and Dennis, right? And William as well, another
screenwriter. I felt kind of bad for the animals when that poor bat was so cute and he got its wings cut off.
Like honestly, the society director really isn't like, to be honest, right for this movie. Like I feel like nobody could do these movies like Stuart Gordon. Not to say it's like they still were good and they were not bad, but like if we would have got Stuart Gordon and Dennis Paoli on this movie could have been really
and that was the original plan. But like I mentioned earlier, like Brian was told, we got the financing, you got to make it, the script's got to be done by this date. Stuart was like, that's not gonna happen. He had to go ahead and do it. And I mean, that's it, man. I mean, this movie would be a whole other beast. Their original story that they came up with for Bride of Re-Animator involved it involved Dan living in, he was like a super in an apartment building. He was living in the cellar. He had Meg still there. Like it would be Barbara Crampton, and it was Meg's reanimated body. A bunch of government agents come in, knock him out, steal him. He wakes up. There's Herbert West, and he's under the fucking White House, and the president just died, and they got to reanimate the president. That sounds
that would
awesome.
have been better, yeah.
But, yeah, I don't get why Barbara Crampton didn't come back for this either. But she probably, I bet you, if they would have got Stuart Gordon, maybe Stuart Gordon probably could have got her to come back. But
Maybe.
But was this at the part like where she wasn't doing a lot of stuff? Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She retired to raise a family. I thought
she was done after Castle Freak, and that was
Castle Freak's after this for sure. Yeah,
isn't Castle Freak like late 90s?
It's like 96, 95, something like that, right?
Yeah, 95. Yeah. So. But
I still think it's a worthy watch. It's just for the effects and everything. It's still a good watch.
If you're a fan of Herbert West and all that, I mean, you're gonna still enjoy being able to see.
Yeah, for me, Jeffy Colmes, really, I've never seen him been bad in too much.
Yeah, and Bruce Abbott's hair, man. I'm not lying, dude. His hair, like that dude was like, I don't know what he was growing that out for, but man, his hair's like a whole other thing. They should have put some reagent on that motherfucker and see what happens, man.
Right.
But there are things about it I really do like, you know, aside from the special effects, because the special effects are amazing. But like some of the ideas about like, oh, we're out here studying this iguana. I guess that's why they're at this fucking civil war in some random country.
Just to get the iguana.
Yeah, no shit.
Could have gotten from a pet store back in the 80s.
But there's elements of it that I do like. And I like the dude who reanimates Herbert West. Or not Herbert West, but Dr. Hill. And he calls him like a nincompoop or some shit like that, right? I liked him, but once again,
not much.
All these parts, they don't gel. It doesn't ever feel like very cohesive and together as a unit.
You know, the sick girl, who I believe she's the sick girl who gets turned into the bride. That's the fucking hot chick with the big cans from Halloween.
That chick with the big cans.
Halloween 4.
4, yeah. We finally get to see him.
Yeah.
And as a corpse and a dying woman.
I always wanted to see him so bad in 4.
And then when you do, you're like, oh no, not this way.
Yeah, right.
The bride looked great. That was the K&B effect, right? Was the bride. Yeah. The bride looks amazing, man.
Yeah, even John Carl Buechler worked on John Carl Buechler, K&B, and Screaming Mad George. I mean, dude.
Yeah, Screaming Mad George did all the stuff at the end with all the weird, grotesque creatures. And the other dude, I think, that did the hand maybe or something like that.
The hand eyeball monster is good.
Yeah.
The bat wings on Hill, kind of goofy.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm pretty sure that was like CGI or computer.
I think it was like optical, but it was a weird.
Yeah.
It looked weird.
Optical,
it was.
Yeah.
I think, and then that Black Doctor, he comes back in the 3rd one, I want to say, right?
I don't remember, dude. I
thought the 3rd one was like Germany. They were like in Bavaria, Latvia.
In the 3rd one, they're like in prison, right?
In prison, right?
Or something? Yeah.
In prison, yeah.
Dude,
they filmed it in Spain, I believe. They filmed it in Spain.
Yeah. And they were gonna do a 4th one. Like Brian Yuzna had like a script and everything. I forget in the.
Yeah, they were gonna bring back the White House idea. I know.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
They did come out with a movie. There's a movie up on Amazon Prime called that came out in the 90s, maybe early 2000s, called Herbert West Re-Animator. That's not attached to this franchise.
In the Vestron Blu-ray for this, Brian Yuzna actually talks about what he had planned for the part 4, because I think they were going to film them back to back, but the money got pulled from the company they were using, which they were using just like in this one. I think it was like Live or something that who did 2, and then it looks like some Filmax company did the Filmax International did this one.
Wild Street Pictures. That's the one who did this one.
Wild Street. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw on the poster like Live something. It just said Live, but Who knows? This movie could have had a couple.
Well, I also think too that that Jeffy Colmes got pretty busy in the late '90s, early 2000s.
Well, Star Trek
He
kept
was
him
on
busy
Star
alone.
Trek all the time, and he did a lot of other
He only
shows.
played like 27 characters on Star Trek.
They were all great too.
So, if you guys had to pick, what would be like one of your guys' favorite practical effects in this one? You gotta definitely mention that. You can go first, Robbie.
I love the bride, and I love it when she rips her heart out at the end. In particular, man,
God, yeah,
that's a great bit too, and it's so sad. Like there's a lot of potential in some of the ideas in this film. They just didn't have enough time to cook and bake. You know what I'm saying? They just didn't have enough time to really gestate and germinate into something really, truly profound. But like that moment alone, like, well, what do you want from me? You know, and she like gives him the heart, like.
yeah.
But the whole effect of her, like, that's super gnarly. Looks really cool. You can see that she's like put together with like steel and wires and tubes as well. Like, because you know, in Bride of Frankenstein and shit, like the idea is like they're taking these dead bodies, putting them together, and they make this really beautiful woman with like just a few like scars and shit. But it's really cool to see something. No, this is nasty. This is put together in a very haphazard way, almost, but very intentionally. But that's probably my favorite.
Yeah, that's a great scene, man. Just a great effect, man. K&B fucking nailed that, and just a beautiful, real gorgeous woman to play that role. Kind of real reminiscent of Return of the Living Dead, where it's like she's so good. But I feel like Return of the Living Dead works a little bit more because, like, for some reason that chick still is so fucking high.
Dude, no shit, dude. If I met
This
her,
one is a little bit
if I
different
met
than
that
you know
character and I was in a room and I came back out and y'all saw me, you'd be like, "Did you fuck her?" I would be like, "No," but I would have all these fucking like cuts all over, and you know I'd be lying.
Right.
Yeah, I got to meet Melinda Clark, dude. She was great.
Did you?
Super cool. Yeah.
Is she still hot?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
she is so fucking hot in that movie, man. So goddamn hot. I love that. I love part 3, man. Such a good. Yeah, you're right. That is definitely Yosna's best film by far. Because even Society, it might be a great film. It's goofy as hell. Like we're all there for the fucking.
Society is great though. Society is amazing. I fucking love Society. Don't get me wrong.
But you know, like,
and I love his which one of the
goofy,
didn't he do one of the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies? Didn't he do one of those
I think
too?
he did the third. I think he did like the third or fourth one or something.
Yeah, he did one of those. I remember, but I remember liking those more than other people. And didn't he do the Dentist? Didn't Yuzna do the Dentist series or something?
Yeah. I love the Dentist. I think he did the Toy Maker one, or no, he did. I think he did 2 of them. Wait, or no, he did. He definitely did Silent Night, Deadly Night 4. I think he did 5 though too.
Okay.
I know he did 4 though. It shows interviews for 4 and 5 on there.
Maybe he just produced one of them or something.
Maybe.
Because he's produced a lot, you know. So
yeah. That's weird. Doesn't show any of them on there.
The internet wants us to forget those movies exist.
Just shows he produced Silent Night, Deadly Night 5. I'm not even seeing that he directed, but IMDb can be weird. I feel like it doesn't always show everything. Or no, it's he produced 5 and he directed 4.
Okay,
you're right about that.
And I think 4 is the better one. I think.
Yeah, I think you did really like 4 with the slugs and all that shit. And I hated 4.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one. That's one only Robbie liked. I remember that one.
Clint Howard, right? Yeah.
I love these. I love the Dennis movies, though. I think too. Did he get? It's funny. Vestron did these back to back, and they were both basically 4 fucking Yuzna movies. 4 out of 5 of them were Yuzna movies. Scarpat, what would be your favorite practical effect on here?
The eyeball finger monster.
Ah, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That was mine.
I love the eyeball finger monster.
Me too.
It could see for some reason, and it had fingers. And
dude, and that was like.
And they squished it.
Yeah, they do. And I mean, they had a bunch of those too. Poor doggy too, man.
I felt bad for the dog and the bat because that bat was like crying. He cut his wings off. That was mean.
dude, when they just like straight up are like giving the chick CPR too, and then they like straight up like on the spot just fucking rip her chest open. I'm like, I don't think they do this. I don't think they really do that in the hospital.
No, I don't think so. And for some reason, why he went out and he put the detective's hand on the dog. Like, why would you do that? That didn't make any sense.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, so I'd probably, since you did the finger one, I'd probably have to just go with, let me see.
I love any kind of stop motion.
Oh, man, yeah, I know. I love the stop motion, too.
You can pick whatever you want. Pick that one. It doesn't matter.
I know. No, I'm trying to see. I was looking at these old clips I'd saved on. Trying to see if they're... well, I guess I'd go with one of that Screaming Mad George ones when her like head kind of extends out and then like her body just kind of like rips in half. With the way her like neck pops out, and then that was fucking basically like the tissue rejection scene. I think they call it. That was fucking gnarly as hell, man. And I mean the fucking wings on the bat, bro. Wings on fucking his head. I mean that was just legendary, bro. But dude, yeah, when her neck is just like popping out and then her fucking corpse just like splits in half. Screaming Mad George.
There's still nothing to equal like in the first movie when Hill puts puts his head on his old body, and his old body's going around and it can't see and it's trying to find the files and stuff.
Hey, Yuzna might not be like, he might not like have the best like scripts and all that, but he fucking sure knows how to put good practical effects on screen, man. He sure knows how to get all the great practical effects guys, get them together and put a fucking bomb ass movie.
Well, this was Screaming Mad George and K&B was Nicotero there at this time?
Yeah. Nicotero's on the documentary.
Oh, okay.
Screaming Mad did all the stuff at the end with the like the weird creatures that came out of the hole in the wall or whatever, right? So that's what he did. Somebody else did the puppet. Like there's like 5 different effects teams that worked on this thing.
K&B, because Robert Kurtzman worked on it, like all the K&B, like Nicotero, Kurtzman, because they were huge fans of the first one. Even John Paul Beekler, who was huge from fucking the Empire days.
Speaking of which,
Part 7 Jason, which I love the look of the Part 7 Jason.
We haven't talked about it, and after like Those Who Live, I definitely don't want to do a weekly show about it, but we do have to do at some point talk about the Walking Dead, Dale Dixon season 2, The Book of Carol. Because
you don't want to do it week to week?
No, we don't want to do it week to week, but maybe we'll do like after the 3rd week.
Maybe we'll do,
and then maybe at the end, or maybe just at the end, because I have a lot of stuff to say about that show.
Yeah, I was not too big on episode 1. Episode 1 made like The Ones Who Live look like a fucking...
No, I still don't think it's as bad as The Ones Who Live, but
that episode, well, at least,
but it's close. It's close.
Episode 1 of The Ones Who Live was awesome, where this was not an awesome episode.
Right, and maybe the whole it's kind of goofy. So we'll have to talk about that at some point.
Yeah, maybe we'll do like a 2-parter, like 1 to 3, and then 4 to 6. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll definitely have to talk about that. Fucking crazy, man. But yeah, I don't know how Yuzna got such a close relationship with Screaming Mad George, because like he always got him to work on his stuff. I don't know, maybe after Society, like that
guy was heavily in demand. Everybody wanted him back in the day, right?
Yeah. And I mean, he might not. The Society, he basically did like the entire movie, or at least like the ending. I don't know if he did everything in the movie, but we at least know what he did at the end with the, what do they call that? The
merge, whatever they
merge. They call it something else too. But yeah,
shucking, right?
The shucking.
Isn't it something like that? Like the
shucking?
It's the
shucking.
It's something like that, man. I don't know if it's something like that. The shunting. I don't know what they call it exactly.
Oh, maybe it was shunting. Shunting is shucking. One of those two.
But
it was like fucking with an S.
Yeah.
Sucking, fucking, I don't know. Something.
Sucking fucking. But yeah, man, overall I definitely still do enjoy this movie. It just, it's better than the third, but it ain't better than the first, man. And I think this isn't like Yuzna's best film either, but it's still a great film, man, and it's a fun one. And it's just got fucking fantastic effects. That was one thing too. I felt like you get all these guys, K&B, fucking Screaming Mad George, and John Carl Beekler, and Mike Deek, and it's like it was almost just like a fucking special effects movie like that. You know what I mean? You get like all these guys, man, all these legends to come through for this.
Who needs a
Get
script?
to work on a Re-Animator sequel, So, and I mean, K&B was huge in 1990. Well, yeah.
This is almost like a movie where they use a storyboard more than they use a script.
Exactly. That's yeah. Because in 1990, I mean, dude, fucking K&B was huge. I mean, they were fucking constantly working. They weren't just.
And maybe one of the reasons why Yuzna was able to get them to work for them so often, especially Screaming Mad and all those people, is because at this time, like movies are getting cut like to shit. You know, and this movie was pretty gnarly for its time because, 85 is like the peak of like that 80s horror shit, right? And then that last half of that decade, it starts getting softer and softer as we're in the Tipper Gore, Nancy Reagan era, right? And like,
yeah, but these were kind of independent films. I don't think they touched these movies as much as
that's probably why he was
Paramount's and the other ones.
That's what he's saying, because they work on these higher budget films and maybe get a little bit more money out of them, but they do all this work and a lot of that shit would get cut. And no matter what, they're getting paid, but they're still putting in a lot of good work that's not being seen. And still, as them being artists, they're just like, damn, this movie would be so much cooler if they would show.
I don't think when they go direct to video like that, I don't think they have to be submitted for a rating, right? Most of these came out unrated.
If you want to get rated, you have to. I mean, this movie was rated because what we have is the uncut version. You can see it when you're watching where the print looks rough, right? Yeah. So, but I mean, you still have to submit them to get that rating.
Unrated cut. I think there's only like 2 extra minutes in our cut. I want to say I'm not
right.
Yeah. It's not much, but it's never much that gets cut out of these movies, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just watched this amazing documentary that my buddy who runs the video store here recommended, and I rented it from him about video nasties, right? And like, it would be like they put like together out of 70 something movies, just a 40-minute reel to like send to like to show Parliament to get them all like disgusted to like ban all these movies and shit. And when they cut these Friday the 13th movies. Like, I wish we could get every Friday the 13th movie uncut, man. Because, like, it's only seconds. And that's what they would do. They would just shorten the end of the effect or shorten cut the beginning of the effect and shit like that, right? So, it's very little, but it can make up a lot.
Especially, like, Part 7, the John Carl Beekler one. Like, any of them after Part 5. After Part 5, they really started getting cut to shit. And like,
6 was the worst, right? Because like 6 is like almost like the PG-13 fucking Jason movie, man.
And I love that movie, but it just got fucking burned on the fucking kills. And especially, it's funny because that wasn't Kane Hodder's first movie. 7 was, and that was with John Carl Beekler. And it was like, it's crazy that people love Kane Hodder as Jason so much. I mean, I guess just because he was Jason more than anybody else, but it's like his movies got cut so bad. It's like he doesn't get really a lot of memorable kills except like the Jason X ice scene,
I think with him, it's all about the walk.
I think so.
Right. And it's all about the look. Like his Jason, like Part 7 is my favorite look for Jason.
Oh, for sure.
That shit's amazing. Zombified, burnt up, spine sticking out the fucking back. Like, and he looks great in 7 and 8.
Beekler is a legend in my fucking book. Just for that. Because he created that design and he fucking nailed it.
The other thing too is like, I don't think all the Friday the 13th fans are the people that were there like for Part 1, 2, and 3. I think it's the people like us that grew up watching fucking 7 and 8 all the fucking time.
You know how many times, like if I talk to somebody about the remake, they'll be like, they'll act like they hate it, and they'll be like, fucking Jason doesn't. That movie was so stupid. Jason doesn't run. And I'm like, have you seen all the Jasons, dude? yeah, man, he doesn't walk, he walks. And I'm like, you obviously haven't, because he ran in 2, 3, and 4. Like, he fucking always ran. Like, it wasn't until really Kane Hodder that he started, until it really
It's because he's a corpse at that point, right?
Yeah,
He probably can't run.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love the remake. The only part I was telling that I don't like about the remake is how they kind of brought in the Texas Chainsaw elements where he captures the girl, he brings back to the house. I didn't feel that's something Jason would do, but
Arrow did a great
but
job.
I do like that movie.
Okay.
I like the remake. I think it's the best out of all of those remakes that they did in that era. Like they did Nightmare, Texas Chainsaw, they did this.
We watched the Discord the other night, the first Hills Have Eyes remake, and I think that's pretty strong. The second one's horrific, not good at all.
We recently just revisited the first one, and the remake does. I do have. I need to rewatch the remake because I think I was a little harsh on
it. Hills Have Eyes remake's fantastic.
Watching Hills Have Eyes right after Last House on the Left, I'm like, oh man, Wes Craven softened this up a little bit. And then I also had watched Necromantic right before that for the first time. So Hills Have Eyes felt very like hocus pocus to me for some reason.
Was Necromantic was like hocus pocus to you?
No, after watching Necromantic, Last House on the Left, and then Hills Have Eyes felt very Disneyfied.
Really?
Have you ever seen Necromantic?
No, I've heard of it.
I'm glad I watched it. I'll tell you that.
Is it good, or is it just like
you need to watch it? 1988 German film about necrophilia. It's on
I've
Shudder.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
It's one of the grossest, most hard to watch movies I've fucking watched, man. It's got the craziest ending, dude. You got to watch it. I can't say anything more.
I've been meaning to watch it for a long time.
Ask Two Gun. I don't know. I think maybe Two Gun watched it. Maybe he didn't. Like, I don't know, man. But Necromantic is wild, man. They don't make them like that anymore. I'll tell you that.
There was definitely some good remakes. So I mean, between even the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake was good with Beale. I always love that. Hills Have Eyes.
My favorite remake from that era is Fright Night.
Oh, I love the Fright Night remake. Yeah, I love that.
I still think I like the original better.
A lot of hate too, and I don't understand it. I love that movie.
It's good.
It's not as good as the original, but it's different. You know what I mean? It's still like in the same vein, but they didn't try to remake it completely.
In the same vein.
That, man. Colin Farrell was fantastic in that. I thought he was a great vampire. Like I forget the head vampire's name in the original, but yeah, he's fucking great in that movie.
No, he's the Penguin.
Colin Farrell, man, the Penguin's been pretty good too, which actually I gotta go watch that after this, man. I forgot that episode 3 came out. But yeah. Is there anything else y'all want to throw out there about Bride of Re-Animator before we rate this, guys?
Here's another thing. The music is not as good as the first one. The music's not as good.
It's a little different. I still love the music, but
they're using the same bit, and it's got a great opening, right? Like the dun dun dun. Also, what a weird shit. So you got the opening with fucking Dr. Hill. I'll get you, West.
Right.
Then you get the long ass fucking text wall explaining why they're in war. But it doesn't really fucking mean anything, really, right? By the end of it, they could just been in like a fucking
the beginning had no reason for being there.
And then you cut to the credits. That's one of the things, like a pretty long preamble, right? Like so I think that was an issue. But the music, like outside of that, like it's just kind of it's okay. It's not the original for sure, but
they added like a love theme part of it in there. Like the bride was going to play more of a like he was going to have more of a love affair that ended up on the screen, and they had like this love affair interlude they added to it. It was okay.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. It's not bad, but it's a little, I don't know.
Right, it's not as good as the original. But it's still
a little simplified, and even it feels cheaper too. But I'm sure that's probably a part of it.
No, I'm all set. So I'd say let's rate it.
All right. But yeah, Two Gun said you should watch Necromantic on Discord if you didn't see that. I'll have to watch that. That'll be good.
I do that right after I do Crackoon that just came out.
I'd love to see Scarpad just live throw the fuck up, dude. I mean, because that might be a thing. I mean, I was trying to eat a chili dog watching Necromantic.
Oh, no.
And I usually can eat anything watching anything. And I was getting sick to my stomach, bro.
Really? Oof. That's
we
great.
may be missing out on Crack-Coon. Could be the greatest movie that's come out. So I'll be doing Crack-Coon sometime, I think, next week.
Yeah.
So.
So yeah, anybody in the chat, if you guys were able to catch Bride of Re-Animator, you know the drill. Throw your rating down below. Let us know what you guys think. And yeah, Robbie, kick us off, my brother.
Dog stares at me.
Let's see. All right, I would give the first Re-Animator a perfect score of a 5.
For sure.
This is obviously not that, but it's not like trash. It's not like really bad. It's not unwatchable. It's not. It's got boring parts, but it's not a boring film. It's got amazing practical effects.
Yeah.
And that really saves it for me. So I'm going to give Bride of Re-Animator an enthusiastic 3.5. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
It's still got Jeffy Colmes in it.
Yeah.
Anything with him in it's worth watching.
Exactly. I think that's respectable. I think that's very respectable. What about you, Scarphead?
Yeah, I would give the first one a 5. I'm feeling a bit blurry right now, so I'm not sure if I can see it clearly. I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to give this a 3.75, just because I think the effects are really good, and the performances are really good. So I'd say I won't go to a 4, but I'll say a 3.75.
Yeah. Normally, all day, part 1 is a 5 for me, all fucking day. Normally, I've always been like. I've always thought Bride of Re-Animator is a 4. This last viewing, I don't know what it was. Maybe, just as you get older, maybe I've seen it a lot more. It just did not hit the same. So I was really on the same level as you, Robbie, at the 3.5. But maybe if I go back and rewatch in a couple more years, maybe I'll be back at the 4. I don't know if it was just like the mood, or you know what I mean. Sometimes you're just it all depends on like your mindset. I don't know. Maybe if like I would have watched 1, 2, and then 3, sometimes I'm like that, where I love to watch like a whole trilogy of like, if I'm watching the entire series of something, that gets me more into it. So I'll stay in between the middle, and I'll go 3.75. But I honestly was kind of at that 3.5 mark, right where you're at, Robbie. But I don't know what it was, man. I've always loved this, and I would have gave this a 4 all day. But something on this watch, just a couple hours ago, I was like, man. I asked Scarpad too, and I was like, did that not like really hit like it? Because even Scarpad, me and him were like, when I decided to put this, because we were like, oh man, we got to do that. Me and Scarpad even said, we were like, yeah, we love that one. Not as good as the first, obviously, but it's it just did not hit like it normally did. It's kind of weird. So yeah, I'll go 3.75. But if I went on this watch, it'd be a 3.5. But I'm gonna just go 3.75 because I feel like I'm in that middle for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I still think there's enough there.
What's up with that, man? I don't know why it was like that. This watch. Maybe it was because I was watching on my phone on Discord. But I've seen the movie a million times.
Yeah, no, I was watching it on a big ass monitor on Discord, but I just didn't think.
I have a big ass phone though. I got the iPhone 14 Pro Max, so it's like a fucking tablet. But it looks like Two Gun agrees with Rob.
I watched it on a TV.
You did, and you watched the Arrow, so
yeah.
This is a great Blu-ray,
which is really weird because it's a region B that plays.
Yeah, plays
on
it.
Like I didn't have to change my setting on my.
But if you look on the back, it shows all regions. It shows
cool. That's an all region one. Yeah.
So this is technically a United Kingdom release, but it was region free.
Some of them are.
Yeah, some of them were. Because I remember this was out of print, and I was able to find this, and I didn't have a region-free player at the time, and I remember buying this, and it said it was region free.
Yeah, I mean, I can't recommend getting like all for right now. 4K is all region free. That may change.
Yeah,
some of them are locked, but very few of them. But I really recommend getting a region-free Blu-ray because right now, even to this day, where
Blu-ray, yeah,
their sets are so much better in region
too.
B than our sets.
Yeah, if you're a horror fan, you really need a region-free player.
Our stuff is starting to get to that level. It's starting to get close to it, but still not as good as Second Sight, Indicator, Aero UK, and I got a line of films from 88 Films called. I got one over here I can show you.
I just wish I had a region. I
Where is
wish I had a region-free 4K player so I could play
it?
all my 4Ks, and then I could play region, like any region Blu-ray.
Let me go grab one. I want to show it.
Scarpad actually has like a region free 4K player, so
cool.
he can play anything in it. 4Ks, any Blu-rays, any DVD.
I wouldn't have a problem just hooking. Like, I don't have a 4K player. That's why I've never really gotten 4Ks and shit like that. I have a 4K TV. I just never gotten the player. But I figured, like, when I do get the player, like that's what's been holding me back. But at the same time, I guess I could just hook up the 4K, and I got an extra like output. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't have a lot of shit plugged up in my TV because I don't really have a lot of video games.
I definitely like to recommend 4K, but then it's a fucking money grab too, because it's like a lot of stuff does look great in 4K and it is worth it, but then it's also like it's just like then it's almost
and
like
some things shouldn't be upgraded, right? Like I wouldn't me personally, like, and if anybody did, kudos to you, but I would never upgrade my Funhouse to a 4K because I don't think that's going to do it justice. In fact, I'd need it on.
It's weird because some of
that, but my 4K of Funhouse looks fantastic.
Some of the ones do look really good. The ones Shout's putting out look really good, but Shout's right now. Shout's redoing most of their stuff in 4K, and I'm just not rebuying it because I already have it, and I think the collector sets are pretty nice. But some of the movies, like some of those, like Vinegar Syndrome and stuff, are putting out some of those Italian films that, when I compare them to like the Blu-ray that comes with it, there's not much difference. And those, I don't really think you really need to do a lot of that stuff. But these are from 88 Films. They're doing this Tegon line of British films. This is Doom Watch.
This one desperately needed a 4K.
But they have really nice covers, thick boxes. Here's the one they just put out for Island of Terror, which is a great Peter Cushing sci-fi horror movie. But the boxes are phenomenal. You get nice thick Blu-ray covers, and you can get these for like, I don't know, $17, $18. These are from Britain. Same thing with Doom Watch.
Really, and those look like they have really nice thick.
And then I picked up this week the 4K and the Hitcher came out.
Oh man, that's gonna look gorgeous.
This is another one I got, Region B. These are all Region Bs, I think. Crawl Space with Klaus Kinski. That's
an out of print.
This Double K came out, Attack of the Giant Leeches and Night of the Blood Beast. I love that artwork. Here's an Italian movie I've never seen. Maybe Robbie's seen it, but it comes with both an X-rated and a regular version. It's Orgasmo. This is from Umberto Lindsay. Did this, the cannibal guy. I love that cover.
Yeah, that's great.
So yeah, Region B, man, especially if you're like an Italian fan, or you can make me smile again. Region B stuff is worth it. And the two sites I go to is either Diabolic DVD or Orbit DVD. They have really good sales.
You should send me those links when you get a chance.
Yeah.
Can I show something off then? Since he's showing off these cool things, I just got this yesterday. I'm very happy. My buddy runs a video store in town, and he specializes in super gnarly, hard to find movies. But he has everything. He has 4K, he has Blu-ray, he has DVD, he's got VHS and Laserdisc even. And he hooked me up because he made a post and I saw it. I was like, yo, can you hold that for me? Look what I got, y'all. On glorious VHS. I got one of my favorite movies right there. I just thought that was super cool. And he pointed out that you can tell that this is a first pressing because of the gray little clip there.
That's it.
That's a Media Blasters too. So yes.
Yeah, but yeah, really fucking cool shit, dude.
How much was it?
He charged me like $8 for it.
That's a steal.
Yeah. Well, it's my homie. So
that's awesome. Yeah, that's it. And George Romero movies are hard as fuck to get on Blu-ray or DVD, let alone a VHS.
As soon as I saw he had it, I was like, bruh, will you hold that until this weekend? He's like, absolutely. He's the one that I was able to go rent Necromantic from. Even though I have Shudder, I wanted to rent the disc so I could check out some of the special features. And he even let me borrow
Who did Criterion put that out? Who put that?
The Blu-ray?
Blu-ray, yeah.
I don't remember who put it out, but my buddy's so into this shit. He even let me borrow a book from his personal collection.
Is it the guy who has the video store?
Yeah, this is the dude who has the video store. He let me borrow this, which is a book about the guy who directed Necromantic. So he knows what he's talking about, man. Like me and him had a great conversation about video nasties the other day, and he let me rent this movie. What's it called? You need to check out this documentary if you've never seen it. It's called Video Nasties: Moral Panic, Censorship, and Videotape. I don't know where it's available to stream, but it is awesome because it's like a documentary about the whole thing.
Yeah, I have that. Yeah.
So it's like a documentary about the whole thing, right? And then it's like a In Search of Darkness thing where they go over every movie. Yeah. It's like 14 hours long, man.
Yes. It's really good.
Me and Scarpat watched that. Good as fuck.
So good, man. So good.
Yeah. I think it's on Tubi, I want to say.
It is on one of the streaming services and all that.
Yeah. Before I forget, Tugun gave Bride of Re-Animator a 3.5. Evan gave it a 3, solid 3. It was wacky as hell and pretty fun. And Jaguar gave it a 4.0. Really enjoyed it. Was a fun movie. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, man. And Evan said, wow, that VHS is dope, Robbie. Awesome VHS. Hell yeah. That is a fucking dope-ass VHS. Never seen it with the little gray or brown, like, I don't know what that's called, but like that flat part in the front of the VHS.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, but apparently that's how you can tell if it's like one of the first printings. What he said that usually those were meant for like video stores or some shit that.
I just checked up on Diabolic and they're showing a Necromantic 2.
Yeah, there's a sequel.
I didn't realize that.
The movie ends on a cliffhanger a little bit, so.
I wonder if it's any good.
I heard
the cover's really good.
I know there's also a movie called Necromancer.
Yeah, this ain't that. This ain't about necromancy. This is about necrophilia. Yeah. It's cheap, fucking gross, gnarly.
There it is. I shared the screen if you want to pop it up, Dylan. Good cover though.
Yeah. It's I mean, I think we all decided to watch part 2 eventually, so.
Nice.
My buddy Spilio, I didn't realize he was going to be on the show, but he wound up watching it for a family movie night.
Oh boy.
And he messaged me, he's like, "What the fuck are we watching right now, man?" I was like, "I'm so sorry."
You're one of those guys that recommend. Yeah, I really think Terrifier would be good for you and the kids.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're watching a movie called Necromantic.
Right.
Do a little bit of research. Like yeah. Yeah.
That just means you love the spirit of the dead.
Rob, yeah. It's like only like an hour long.
It's about magic and necromancy, right? No, it's about fucking dead people.
It could be about it could be a dance called Necromantic. It sounds like a dance.
Could be. Maybe there's a musical version coming. Maybe Todd Phillips will get a hold of it and do a part 3.
Necromantic the musical.
Yeah.
Am I looking at the right one, Robbie? It ends with a K, right? And it's
it ends with an
hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, super short. Thank God. I'm not even kidding, man. I'm not saying that the movie. It's not a good movie, but I think it is a good movie. And I gave it a 2.5 out of 5, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I think everybody should watch it. I think we need to watch these movies so that we don't because you know us horror fans, right? We're always like, yeah, more gnarly, more fucking gore, more sex. Sometimes we need to know that there is a limit.
Please don't.
Sometimes we need to keep ourselves in check by watching Necromantic.
I want to know, has Robbie ever watched the greatest movie of the last couple of years, Sasquatch Sunrise?
No, I hear about it, but I haven't watched it.
Oh, you gotta watch that, man.
I got it right over here, man. I keep it on me, Scarfhead.
Come on, Bigfoot fucking in that movie. Come on.
That's fine.
It's good too.
That's a good movie. This is the best movie of fucking 2024.
That's a great film.
I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on Necromantic. Y'all should watch it for sure. I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on the ending in particular.
I'm definitely gonna watch.
I can't believe he has not watched that.
I don't know if Scarpa is gonna show it on Discord, but I'll definitely be watching that, especially if it's on Shudder.
Yeah,
and it's
maybe
only like an hour. I'll probably watch it tomorrow. Or,
It's shorter
Yeah,
than
I'll
a
probably
fucking
watch
Universal
it.
Monsters
Yeah.
movie, man.
I'll probably
right.
watch it maybe in the morning.
Mercifully, it's shorter.
Maybe when I'm eating my cornflakes in the morning, I'll turn it on.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, eat some good oatmeal with like some gooey oatmeal. I'm sure that'll make you feel good.
Oh yeah.
Cool, man. Got some good stuff coming up this week though on Discord.
Yeah. Speaking of that, before we get to what you got going on this week, we'll throw that out in 1 second. Next Sunday, we will be doing It Follows, which was actually a movie that I don't know if he threw it out to me, but I think he wanted me to do it, and then I showed him my list, and he was like, "No fucking way! I was gonna tell you to do It Follows." My little brother have one of his all-time favorites, and I absolutely love this movie. It's such a great film.
I have not seen it, so
Yeah. I don't think you said you didn't see it. It came out in 2014. It has Micah Monroe, the like girl detective from Longlegs, and it's a very unique film.
wasn't there a sequel? Wasn't there a sequel?
There's going to be a sequel coming that they just announced this year. Been a long time coming because it's become kind of like a cult classic, honestly, in the last few years. It was that I remember it being a big film when it came out, but it was still kind of like a sleeper film. But I have always loved this film, man. I just have always thought it was so good. It's basically, how could I put this? If you got say say you had sex with some random fucking person and you picked up like a fucking supernatural STD. So what it basically says is a young woman is followed by an unknown supernatural force after a sexual encounter. So that's all I'm gonna say. But it's, as my brother would say, a modern horror classic, man. And the score in it is fantastic. You definitely get like John Carpenter vibes. Oh no, I ain't gonna spoil it, bro. That's literally the plot on IMDb. What I just
and according to the thing here, it's on Shudder and the Peacock.
Yeah,
the
they
Cock.
just put it on Shudder.
And it's on the Cock too.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that I ain't gonna say nothing else. I just wanted to say the plot synopsis because it's kind of hard to explain, honestly. But I love the poster for it, man. And Mike did a great thumbnail for this one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. So that's next Sunday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Definitely check that out. And what you got coming tomorrow, Robbie?
Oh man, tomorrow on PCP Movie Night, we're doing Dario Argento's follow-up to Suspiria, Inferno. This one's going to be fun, and I will encourage everybody. Also, I did a live stream on Wednesday. I interviewed Brandy Roderick, former Playboy Playmate of the Year. She was on Baywatch. She just wrote and directed and produced her first horror film, and it's a really, really great movie. I would recommend anybody checking out Wineville, and it was a fun conversation as well. But tomorrow night, it's all about Inferno. You know, it can't be a horror fest without Argento.
Right. No doubt.
Eventually, we'll run out of Argento films, and we'll just repeat.
Yeah.
We'll just do them again.
Yeah, I love Inferno. What's Vern doing Friday or Thursday? I think
is this week
Scream?
the others? I think he's doing
They told me Scream, maybe.
Oh yeah, Scream is this week. Yeah, because he's continuing the Wes Craven thing that we were doing last week. So he's doing Scream because we're touching all those bases, right? Last House on the Left, Hills Have Eyes. Y'all did Nightmare on Elm Street. He's doing Scream. So those are like 4 of his more important films, I think. So
yeah. I had to kick off Wes Craven week with the best Wes Craven film, man. Nightmare on Elm Street.
The best Wes Craven film is Vampire in Brooklyn.
and then hard to find 90s classic.
I thought Scream Factory did a Blu-ray for that one.
I think I did.
I got a Blu-ray for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to get all of his films, but
yeah,
I'm still missing like Deadly Blessings, I think.
Oh, you know, dude, that I got that for like $10 from Shout Factory.
Yeah, I got that. It's a good Shout Factory.
I'm missing that one. I'm missing Hills Part 2, and I'm missing Swamp Thing. I know for certain.
I don't have the original Hills at all. I don't have the first or second. I need to get
Yeah,
those.
that's a good
And
movie.
I don't
Ernie
have-
Borgnine.
I don't have Deadly Friend either. That robot.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I got that one.
But
The 4K they put out for Swamp Thing
this
is really
a
good.
weird movie.
Deadly
looks
Friend
really,
fucked
really
me
good.
up when I was a kid. I remember that. I do remember that.
That was a weird one when I was a kid.
Oh, I don't have Music of the Heart either. Do y'all have that one?
No.
No, but I heard that was a good movie.
It is a good movie. That's the movie he was trying to make his whole life.
Right. Was that Richard Dreyfuss was in that? Who was
No,
in
that's
that?
Mr. Holland's Opus. Meryl Streep's
Oh.
in Music of the Heart.
Oh,
She won an
that's right.
Academy
That's
Award
right.
for it, actually. Yeah.
Yes. What do you got going this week, Scarphead?
It's got some real good movies for Halloween coming up. We did last week. We did Dan Curtis's Dracula with Jack Palance, which I love that movie. He did a really good job. It's a real good retelling of the Dracula thing. And this week, Dan Curtis, his first two TV movies after he made Dracula were The Night Stalker and The Night Strangler, Kolchak. The pilot movies could be doing that Monday.
Kolchak, man.
And Tuesday, be doing both of those. On Wednesday, we're going to be doing Beazle. And Thursday and Friday, because it's the weekend, Terrifier 1 will be on Thursday night and Terrifier 2 on Friday night. And we're going to go every night, a little late night, 11 o'clock. And except for Terrifier 2, which Friday will be 10:30 because it's a little bit, as Robbie knows, a little bit longer film. And Robbie would be glad to hear that this one is only 2 hours and 5. The new one is only 2 hours and 5 minutes.
What the fuck? Why is it over 2 hours, man?
So it cut out 30. You cut out 20 minutes. You should be.
Yeah,
Jesus.
dude, Terrifier 2 is not even 2.5 hours. It's like 2 hours and 18 minutes.
Yeah.
Too
So it's technically only like what 13 minutes shorter.
Yeah,
No.
it's like 12 minutes
And
short.
of course, they're hyping that now. Yeah, people are walking out in the first 10 minutes.
They're
They're
throwing up.
puking.
They went to go get popcorn. They waited till the line to die down, and they were like, "That's what happened."
Yeah, my understanding is there's something child related in the first 10 minutes. That's
I
pretty bored.
bought the first showing Thursday night. The very first showing I'm going.
No,
to.
I'm going Saturday, but it should
Yeah,
be
well, you
fun.
were gonna go. You were
Right.
gonna. Well, no, you were gonna go Friday originally, but yeah.
Yeah, so some good stuff coming up 11 o'clock every night this week. So check it out.
Yeah, that'll be fun to rewatch. Get ready for Terrifier with those. Yeah, I cannot wait, man. I'm so excited. So excited. So yeah, it follows next Sunday. Tomorrow, Robbie's got Inferno. Verno's got Scream. So Scarpad's got all the goodness coming on Discord as always. So definitely be on the lookout. Man, dude, fucking October is gonna be over before we know it, bro.
I love it. Everybody else is already like, they're all like, "Oh, we're starting our spooky movie season." I'm
I
like, we're
know.
all getting sad because
been-
we're like, it's ending.
I know, man. Like literally, it's like it just goes so quick, man.
But it's always spooky season here at Dylan's Horror Show.
That's it. But I just love the time of the year. You know what I mean? Even though it sucks in Ohio, bro, because it's like our falls suck now, bro. I don't know how it is over like for you, Scarpat, because you kind of have the same type of weather as me a lot of times. I don't get like a real fall no more. It like goes from like summer to fucking like you get like a maybe like a month of fall if you're lucky, and then it goes right to winter.
Bro, there's fucking 90 degrees here today.
Well, it used to be that the leaves
It was like 80 degrees.
the leaves out here used to all change starting in September and be done in kind of like the first week of October. It's gonna be November before the leaves are even out the trees here now. So,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
the world's on fire, baby. It's on fire. But I hear it's a hoax. So don't worry about it.
What the hell are you talking about? What should be an hour and 30 max?
Slasher
Terrifier?
movies.
Think about
Slasher
Terrifier.
movies should be an hour and 30 minutes max, man.
Nah,
So should
nah,
comedies,
true.
man.
Not in this day and age. Not in
What
this
the
day and
fuck ever.
When
dude.
you
I'm
have
telling you.
something important to say, like Art the Clown, you need time to say it.
age. You need
That being said, I'm gonna go watch it on
You
Sunday.
need every
You're
minute.
gonna go see it?
Of course.
Hell yeah.
I think Art's like the current like reigning horror icon, right? Like, and I'm happy with that. That's fine. I don't like every Saw movie, but I watch them all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
So
I
you
don't
don't
like
care.
any.
You're gonna go
of
see
them.
it. You're gonna go see it in the movies, really?
Yeah, man.
I didn't think you would.
Yeah. What else is out? Shit, nothing.
Who are you bringing with you?
I know there's not much.
I think I'm gonna watch this
Smile
one.
2 though. Smile.
What's
2,
that?
I think,
You
comes
watch it
out.
by yourself?
I watch a lot of my movies at the theater by myself.
Oh, bring somebody. Bring Jelani or somebody. Oh, Brooks.
It's nice. going
Brooks
to
would
see a movie.
hate
It's nice
Terrifier.
going to see a movie by yourself.
Brooks hated Last House on the Left so much. He was like talking it up, like being like,
Right.
"Oh yeah, I get what it's trying to do, but this movie really fucking disturbs me, so I don't like it."
Oh, Brooks.
I would love to hear what him and Jelani have to do say
No,
about
it's a popular opinion. A
Necromantic.
lot of people did not like the
That would be
70s I
funny.
Spit on
You
Your
should
Grave
play
type
that
movies.
for them next time you guys hang out and like drink together. You should put Necromantic on.
I don't think I'm gonna watch that one again. But
No, you just go in the other room by it and like just let them watch it by themselves and just like
Yeah.
listen to their reactions. Yeah, Art the Clown has so much great merch. He for sure does, and that's another reason why like he's just taken off so much. Just like Killer Clowns is taken off. Like, and I think they're supposed to be working on like a TV series or something.
Yeah,
We're doing like
that's pushing things.
no. I've heard the Chiodo brothers are coming back to do something because I
Oh,
know
for
they're
Killer Clowns?
like an animated series.
they've been trying to do that for a while, so we'll see.
Yeah,
well, hopefully it's actually
But-
happening this time. So
They could definitely do something with it because they barely touched the surface with it. I mean, we'll see though. As long as they kept it all practical, I think they could do something. But we'll see.
I'm glad we just got a 4K. I'm happy. So
Yeah, that was a beautiful 4K. But yeah, so as always, guys, appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. Be on the lookout tomorrow for Robbie's show, and we'll see you guys next Sunday. And enjoy your week, guys. We always appreciate you guys coming. Thanks as always, guys. Peace out.
for balloons.
Thank you.